This is silly. You can't see anything. Refresh your browser. That's right.
Do I need to come to Hey, you gotta do
There we go. Okay. Yes, Brandon, we can see you on camera. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, there we go. All right, we are in business. So, hi everybody, welcome to Build 2019 and your next Windows Insider webcast. We are glad to have everybody here. Let's see here, real quick. We've got a ton of demos lined up today. We got a ton of people we're going to be talking to. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. First thing I want to say real quick, we did launch a build this morning to the fast ring. Josh, it was what, 18,894? Yep. So I'm going to type in the link if you didn't see it, akms/1894. That is the link to the blog for the release that we did today. So now that you know, if you didn't know, we're good to go. Like a man. First up, good to see you. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
For the crowd, could you introduce yourself briefly?
I'm Hari. I'm a group manager for the Windows kernel team.
Yep.
This is and as part of my night job, I also am running the ACPC or otherwise Windows 10 on ARM program. And so I am here today to talk to Jason and the Windows Insider folks and give them some interesting demos of the Windows 10 Insider, Windows 10 on ARM program.
Yep.
And if you will be able to see my screen, we'll try to figure it out soon, maybe. Yes. Yes, maybe.
Bingo.
Yes, we're in. Okay.
Demo and camp.
All
Perfect.
right. So the goal here is what I'm trying to show you is just Windows 10. There's no difference. It's the same screen you see everywhere. The only key difference really is it's running on an ARM processor. It's running on the Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. You can actually see that here if you want. You see it's the Snapdragon.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so from an experience perspective, from a user, it's just PC. It's just a PC. It's Windows as you know, start screen. That's it. The key difference between an ARM is you get better battery life.
Yep.
And it has a built-in LTE.
Yep.
So if you actually see my screen, you will see I am not using Wi-Fi. I am running on LTE only. So, for all the issues that Jason was hitting with Wi-Fi, I had none of them. So, sorry, Jason.
Wah, wah.
So, with that spiel, I just want to show you some quick demos.
Yeah. Real quick, real lab demos, right?
Yeah.
We are doing this real time. You know how that goes. If something goes wrong, you can blame me. I will happily take the rap for it. Yeah,
we're on.
Thanks, Donna. It's right up there. Hold on.
Wait. Yes, there it is.
There it is. Hi. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
I thought you broke it.
It wouldn't be the first time, and it probably won't be the last.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Okay. And so one of the pitch I wanted to make for Build is Windows 10 when it first came out, it had this x86 emulation layer to run all your apps.
Yep.
But as part of the build for the last 2 years, we've been trying to get people to port their apps to ARM64.
Okay.
And so we've been making a big push to all our developers to recompile to ARM64. It's not a lot of work. And so as part of the demos today, I want to show you a few interesting native apps. And I also want to show you some things that you've never seen before.
Okay.
So for the very first demo, here you will see is Anaheim or Edge.
Yep.
We're running on the new Chromium engine, running natively as ARM64.
That's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing.
I'll just show you that it is really Edge. Chromium. As you can see, it's the Edge Chromium.
And there it is.
There it is. I'm going to try and launch an app so that you know it's real. Remember, this is using Verizon LTE, no Wi-Fi in the picture here.
That's awesome. Look how fast that is.
Native.
That is crazy.
Yeah, so this is running Chromium ARM64, no emulation. This has been totally running natively. Our team did a lot of work here. We did majority of the heavy lifting. So I'm not going to show you anything new. It's just Edge. Like you can download it off the web.
I mean, the fact that you're running it on this device with a new product that's only been out for, at this point, what? Maybe not even a month, maybe.
It's been out for a few months. Yeah, I'm actually demoing on a Samsung PC. That's been Samsung Galaxy Book. It's been available in the US for a few months now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not super new, but it's not very old either. Another interesting demo I want to show you quickly. You can actually see sysinternals.
Oh snap! Here we go.
There you have it, Proc EXP. running natively for ARM64. So Mark Russ and the SysInternals team will release this. They tell me next week, next few weeks. I don't have a deadline. I don't have an exact timeline, but it's running. They have it. It should go on web pretty soon. I'm also going to show you something interesting here. You can see something called Secure System.
Okay.
So what is actually happening here is I'm running the virtualization-based security here. So what is really happening is that, oh, I killed it, sorry.
Oops, you can relaunch it, it's all right.
We'll relaunch it.
Trust me, like I said, everybody, live demos,
Live
it
demos,
happens.
yes, it happens. So you can see the secure system there. What's happening is that, never mind, don't matter. Don't matter, sorry, as I said, it's live demo. The point I was trying to make is we're running a hypervisor here for the very first time. And I'm actually running hypervisor-based security again for the very first time.
Wow.
You see this, the core isolation there? It tells you virtualization-based security. So all of this goodness is going to come to you soon, over the next few months. These are all pre-release bits that I'm showing you for the very first time.
Sure. This is fascinating.
It is.
How much work has your team put into making this come to reality?
You know, we don't actually take weekends off. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That is.
We're hanging out here doing podcasts and webcasts, coming to conferences, and they're like not getting sleep, crying themselves, drinking. They probably drink more Mountain Dew than I do.
We crack the whips on the developers there. Don't get out of your room. Sit there. No, I'm sorry. I'm joking. Please do not stop working. So the thing I wanted to show you, hypervisor, for the very first time, not released publicly yet, soon to be released.
So this is the first time this has been demoed?
This is the first time this has been demoed publicly.
I hope y'all understand, like, this is the first time anybody externally has seen this. So,
actually, all of the demos I'm showing you has not been shown publicly. SysInternals hasn't been released publicly. Edge on Chromium for ARM64 has not been released publicly yet. This is all coming over the next few months.
So you just got to see a trio, 3 awesome brand new things coming for ARM64 that we just announced, right?
That is it, we just announced.
So are there going to be sessions on this at Build? Was there a session? Will there be a session?
So we had a session last year.
Okay.
This year we have a booth floor where we're telling people to come play with our devices.
Okay.
From an actual developer experience perspective, there's nothing new here. The idea here is open Visual Studio, recompile. All the developers already know it. I don't think we need to have a special session saying, hey, make sure to hit the ARM button. Because it's like you already know the button is there.
Yeah.
Make sure to check the ARM package.
Yep.
And it's that simple.
And that's it.
That's it. There's no actual extra work here. The idea is the ARM devices are coming out there. So when you recompile your apps, make sure the architecture ARM64 is chosen.
Okay.
Visual Studio has full support right now. The store has complete support for ARM64 apps. So the goal is just recompile.
Wow.
And one last.
Yeah, of course.
Firefox.
All right.
Running natively. Again, Firefox ARM64. This has also never been demoed publicly.
Oh my goodness! So that is 4 new things for ARM64 that have never been shown publicly that you have just now seen.
Yes, and I keep launching Task Manager to show that it is real.
And proof of life.
To prove that it is real. It's not that I'm launching some fake picture here. That's the main.
This is like. Yes. I think the insiders have come to expect the craziness, right? Which whether it's stream glitches or demo concerns, whatever, like. The things that we are out here showing are like actual, real, legit things that are actually happening on these devices. No video recordings here.
Exactly. All right, let me go to Amazon. Yes. Yeah. So. All right, as you can see, that's clearly
live demo.
Live demo. Actually, I was clicking the long button.
And there we go.
Yeah.
Real-time web page loads and all.
And look at the extensions. All of the extensions just work. There's my uBlock.
It's just there.
It's just there.
That's amazing.
It is.
Oh my goodness.
And so, all of these devices are available to buy today. So if you do want to try it out, please do. And make sure to submit your apps to the store. Or if you're doing Win32 apps, please recompile to ARM64.
Yep.
We have full support.
And then, of course, as these features become generally available. I'm sure there will be additional announcements, maybe
There
a
will
blog
be.
post, something
Yes.
posted on Docs.
Yep.
Make sure that we'll absolutely help share that more broadly. So when the word goes out, we'll help amplify and then get people to go and try it out and see what they think.
Totally, yeah. We will be submitting, we'll be pushing blogs and just general tutorials because we realize this is new, right? People haven't done ARM64 ever.
For sure.
This is the first time, so we will be having more tutorials, handhold sessions and all that, but it's just a PC.
Wow. It's just a PC with amazing battery life.
With amazing battery life, that is true.
Well, hey, I gotta say, thank you so much for stopping in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the demos.
Yes.
I was gonna say, they went surprisingly well, which, like I said at the beginning, it was gonna be risky, but
and
it
was
works.
all on LTE, so I didn't even have to worry about Wi-Fi.
There you go. Conference Wi-Fi, everybody.
Yes.
You would think it would be amazing, but with
Exactly.
that many people on a one Wi-Fi access point,
It is
I gotta
not.
say, it's a bit tricky sometimes.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will disconnect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for stopping in. So, wow, I got just people all around us. William, come on. Let's do this. What's up? Jeremy, William. Topping. I don't know who's going next. All right.
I don't know either. I'm just waiting for you to tell me.
Okay. You can just hang out here.
The great and powerful taco hat. What's going on?
This is the joy of doing randomized stuff where we're not in a conference room, where we're actually at a conference. Things aren't quite as well organized. It's super good times. All right.
How are you doing? How's Build?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The number of insiders that have come through and said hi, checked in, asked us questions. It's been ridiculous. Like it's just it's nuts. It's nuts. I mean, it's a good thing, but it's the prototypical conference experience where it's just go the whole time.
It is.
We had our speaking engagement Monday afternoon. But speaking of speaking, like, you got some things to talk about?
We do, yeah. We have a bunch of new Edge features that we announced this week at Build. One of my favorites is Collections. Collections allows you to quickly capture content on the web. If you haven't seen the Build demos, it was in the Satya keynote. We have one of our sessions we're going to go into some of these in more detail. It should be live soon if it's not already.
Okay.
Collections is really cool because you can, for example, you can grab images and web pages, and we actually make it as a pane. It makes it looks nice. We'll collect the title and the images, give you a nice preview, the URL, so you can quickly get back to it. And if it's like a product, we'll even give you things like the price right in there, in line. And then you can export that to like Word or Excel, which I think should hopefully save a lot of people time. Because we see so many people have like tabs up, and then you want to share that with someone, right? And you go from tab to tab, and you copy the URL, and then you copy the title, and you add an image, and then
you have to grab
copy
like
the price.
one section at a time.
And it's so time consuming, right? And this is just one click, you add it, it's in there, and you can just easily send it off somewhere else. So really excited about Collections.
That is awesome.
Another big one is the privacy and tracking prevention work that we're doing now.
Okay.
So you can turn on advanced tracking protection, and it'll you can actually go in and see if you click on like a little edge icon in the address bar.
Yep.
Right. You can actually see how many trackers have been blocked.
Yep.
And that just helps it so people can't maybe track personalized ads. It's creepy if you go to a website, maybe you're looking for a product, right? You buy it or you don't, and then you go to another website, you see an ad there. Yep. And you're like, how did they know that? Right? What the heck? And this kind of helps block a lot of those.
It's always that creepy thing, and I hear people say this all the time, where they look something up on their phone, and the next thing you know, on their other computer somewhere else, they get ad after ad after ad of the same thing, and they're like, how did it know?
Exactly. We also talked about some of the upcoming features coming to the browser. I actually encourage you to check out the State of Edge session. It should be up very soon. We talk about some of the new features coming, how we worked with the Fluent team, and kind of our approach to moving open source. So that's really good. We have another session on our approach to open source in general, and how we're kind of helping move everyone to like a consistent rendering engine. Basically, there's going to be less fragmentation, all that kind of stuff, which I think is really big. What else? IE mode. Love.
Oh,
IE
yeah.
mode. I love
that
this
got announced.
one. Yeah, that was another big announcement. So obviously, today you use Edge, right? You go to a legacy site. We all have them. Every company has a legacy site.
Yep.
Silverlight, or it's designed just to work in IE, right? And you go there, and either the site doesn't work, or it pops open IE, and it's like, okay, now we opened a new tab in Internet Explorer for you so you can actually access the site.
Sure.
But now you're in IE, right?
Yeah.
And
it's taking you away from the experience that you wanted
all
to be
the sites
in.
you had, all your tabs that are open.
Yeah.
Now you're maybe accidentally opening new tabs in IE, and you're like, no, go back to the more modern browser.
Yeah,
right?
it's because that's where you started. That's where you wanted to be.
Exactly. And so now, if you go to a site that requires IE compatibility, it just automatically switches in the browser. The little icon changes to let you know it's in compatibility mode.
Yep.
But that's it, right? You're now in IE inside of Edge.
That's amazing.
Which is I'm really excited.
And let me ask you, just for clarification.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like re-rendering the whole browser, or is it just that one tab?
Just that one tab. The page in that tab.
And that's
everything
it.
else is normal Edge, which is based on Chromium.
Yeah.
So you get like the best of both worlds.
That is beautiful.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff too. We're talking about the new developer tools. We're using, we've made a lot of accessibility improvements there. Style with Visual Studio,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. Just a whole bunch of things. So it's really exciting. I recommend checking out those sessions. Talking about the Webview control as well. So if you're building an app, doesn't matter if it's Win32 or UAP, you can use the new Webview 2 control.
Yeah.
And use the new Chromium-based edges rendering Webview.
It's amazing.
So that's exciting.
One of the things, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot. Maybe,
That's okay.
maybe just a little bit, right?
I know you.
So, platforms.
Yes.
Because that was one of the big talking points,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. So
You want to share a little sprinkling
Windows
about that?
Mac's coming very soon.
Yep.
We don't have any dates to share yet, but it
Sure.
is. We've announced that it's coming. So that's really exciting, and it's nice to be able to get Edge everywhere now. It's your favorites will sync across all your devices. We already have Edge apps on Android and iOS as well. You can get Edge everywhere, which is so exciting.
So it's one of the interesting things that I do want to call out, right? So we had William and we had Kyle, who is, I don't know if he's at the booth today.
I haven't seen him yet. He's a busy man.
Well, he was at the booth yesterday, so it was a good chance to see him. We had them on the last webcast. They came in.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It was right after the announcement. Got a chance to talk about some of the things you had done just up to that point.
Right.
And obviously, here we are at Build, where you had sessions, you made some big announcements. We kind of just gave some of the highlights. But we're going to be doing another webcast. We're trying to lock down the date. Might be June, might be July. We'll figure it out and let you know, of course. But the beautiful thing is, even with everything we've talked about so far, we're still going to have enough to talk about in an entire webcast.
We're working on a lot of cool stuff. I can't say anymore. We're working on a lot of cool stuff. So
there's more
stay
coming,
tuned.
right? That's one of the best things about working on.
Like I said, I got to plug that session.
No, absolutely.
I get questions all the time. Right? When is my favorite feature from the current Edge?
Yeah.
Today coming to the Chromium-based version of Edge, the new Edge Insider Preview. And I get that asked all the time. Right? Check out that session because we actually dive into exactly which features are coming up. So I definitely recommend that one if you're a fan of Edge and really want to know what's coming.
And so I just shared a link in the chat for all the sessions that have been completed for Build so far that are going to be available online.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of lag time because we're recording, processing, and all that kind of stuff.
I think it's about 24, 48 hours or so for the sessions to pop up.
So I just put a link in chat that copy that down, bookmark it, whatever you'd like to do, so that you can reference that. And there's stuff that's already up there. So if you want to go see some of the earlier sessions that were on day one or potentially earlier yesterday, you can actually go search. You can keyword search. If you happen to know the session number, you can search that way. But you can actually go through and view a lot of the content that was presented here at Build firsthand for those of you obviously that weren't able to attend. And so the Edge sessions themselves should be up there.
We have a couple Edge sessions. Fred did one on Enterprise that's up already. It's like a short 15-minute session, I think. We also have an hour-long session on our move to open source with Jatinder and Gaurav, which is really good. I enjoyed that session.
Yep.
That's up now.
Okay.
And then we have another session later today about how we're with Chromium, we're actually making contributions back to Chromium open source.
To the
engine.
open source community
Right,
generally.
yeah. So, and that helps all browsers. It doesn't matter, any browser based on Chromium, they'll be able to take advantage of the improvements that we're upstreaming back there. So the session on that, actually right now.
Okay.
So that should be live soon.
Okay.
Probably tomorrow or so.
Yeah, so
and then,
make sure and bookmark and check that one out tomorrow.
And then, the State of Edge session, which should be up any minute. It was on Monday, Monday afternoon. But that one is, if you're curious about Edge features, right? The design, rounded corners, all that kind of stuff. Go to that. That's the session you want to go watch.
All right.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of exciting stuff, and it's awesome to talk with people and talk with all of you and hear what you like, what you don't like, where we can make changes. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
And just one completely random plug that I'm going to make here. The number of folks that I have seen ask for this Edge Dev shirt has, I cannot tell you, like, the same type of passion for this shirt is the same type of passion I've seen for some of our Ninja Cat shirts. Like, it is absolutely crazy. But interestingly enough, I will say this, of course, because I asked for one, obviously, and I couldn't get one because supply is super, super limited, so maybe I'll get one in the future.
No promises. We'll see what we can do, though.
Yeah, I got to say this, right? Just for context, their own CVP, Chuck Friedman, doesn't have one, right? That's how limited in scope the folks are.
Yes.
The yet is definitely true. But as of this conference, he did not have one to come wear while he was at the booth spending time talking to customers yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying.
So, sorry. I wish we had more to give away.
No, it's all good. But I gotta say, like, you guys are like definitely on the new hotness right now. Everybody's fired up and excited. But I love the fact that there's so much awesome and so much stuff that's just continually coming out that we get to share with folks.
Yeah, it's almost hard to keep up. There's so much going on. It's great. It's exciting.
Well, hey, here soon enough, you'll have an entire hour-and-a-half session that you can share everything that you want to share, and of course, get to take more questions from folks.
I'm so excited because I know last time I felt that we didn't get to answer a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Just because of it was a short time. So yeah, definitely next time. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So yes, curate your questions, either stuff that you have, stuff from today, things that you read up on, new features that show up between now and when we get back together again. Just kind of pull all those things together, and when we get that webcast pulled together, we'll have plenty of time to go through and just tackle question after question while we're talking about features. And of course, we'll have more of the Edge team. We'll hopefully have both William and Kyle, and then whoever else they decide to rustle up. Maybe we can get a dev or two to show up and talk about some of the work that they've done, actually help bringing this thing to life.
We'd be happy to.
Awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you as always. Appreciate it.
Of course, thanks everybody for joining the webcast. And, stay tuned. More to come.
Enjoy the rest of your build.
Thanks, you too.
Appreciate it. Hey, Jeremy. Come talk. Come talk.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey. Good to see you. Sorry about the little mix-up a moment ago.
It's all good.
So, real quick background, right? So this is obviously a conference session here, so it's going to be a bit rapid fire because we bring people in and out and kind of running them through. So real quick, in our last webcast, I made mention of a gentleman named Jeremy, who had done some Azure learning and was kind of kicking me in the behind, urging me along to do some of this Azure learning as well. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is in the flesh. Glad to have you. So real quick, for those out there that don't know you, can you do a quick intro? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? And why are you here at Build?
All right. I'm Jeremy Sinclair. I am from a town in West Virginia named Wheeling. You don't need to really worry about it. Just know it's like an hour from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Everyone knows that.
All right.
I'm a enterprise.NET developer, but I also do a lot of native development on the side. And I'm here at Build because I'm actually one of the native dev MCs.
So hold on, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know until you told me. So for everybody out there, what is that?
So a native dev MC, it's my job to really get everyone hyped up in terms of like Windows, native mobile development. If you're not here at Build, I'm taking all of the courses and I'm letting everyone know the news. I'm letting everyone know like, hey, this is what you want to do. This is what you want to look forward to.
So I will say this real quick, and totally, please plug your Twitter handle. I'm actually going to type it out for folks. So what is your Twitter handle?
Sinclairinator.
Did I spell that correctly?
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
We're going to make sure real quick.
That's right, because someone took the zero. I usually have a zero in it, but someone took it, so it's OR.
Hopefully I got that right.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to ship that out.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me finish typing there real quick. So, one of the things that you have been doing as you've attended these sessions, taken notes, is after you get through with the session, not only have you sent notes during a session, but you've actually taken videos of the screens and things that were super important as they got announced. So within your own personal feed, actually, there's a ton of information that folks can go and watch these videos and get links and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm used to doing when I'm not at these conferences. I'm viewing them remotely.
You're on the opposite side.
I'm on the opposite side. And so, like, I get to see this live. So I want everyone else to know firsthand, like, this is what I'm hyped about. Like, this is wonderful. Instead of waiting until afterwards to get like a session recap, I'm going to let everyone be at that session with me. So I feel like that's the best way.
That's awesome. So how has your experience been just like being at Build? Is this your first Build? No, I know it's not your first Build.
Second.
I was going to say, I know I saw you last year.
Yeah, so last year I finally complained enough to my managers to allow them to send me here.
Yeah.
And the experience was just so wonderful. I was like, I have to come back. And I got the opportunity to come back as a native dev MC, and so this has been wonderful.
So he took one of those life lessons from Donna, from complaining to upper management, as she talks about all the time, which is super fun. And the really fun thing is when I complain to upper management, I'm just complaining to Donna. So, but it sounds like you've had a good time. Obviously, you've shared a lot of information. Let me ask you one more question here. What would you say, and I know you've seen a ton by sitting in all these sessions, seeing the keynote and everything, what would you say is the coolest thing that we've announced during this build this year?
The coolest thing?
I'm totally putting you on the spot to ask you this question.
See, I can go with the coolest things.
Okay, I'll give you two.
All right, two?
You get two.
All right, I'm going to say seeing WSL2.
Okay.
That blew my mind, mainly because a Linux kernel is being shipped with Windows. Like, Windows is shipping a Linux kernel. Like,
can you rewind 10 years ago?
10 years ago.
We don't have to go back 10 years. 5 years ago, would you have ever thought that something like that would happen?
Absolutely not. But I think it was a great idea. It was a great way to kind of bring in all of the developers. Yeah. So you have your Linux users. It's like, all right, I want to be able to do this. I'm forced to use Windows at work maybe, but I can't get away from this. So you have that means of, all right, I'm gonna pump up my bash. I'm gonna use all my Linux commands, and it's gonna work. But now with WSL2, it's gonna work even better because it's pretty much native. I love it.
And I'm totally going to do a pitch here because it's super important to remind everybody, like, the whole Microsoft, like, the mantra that we are under, right? Empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more. And the more fractured the broader global ecosystem is of people kind of siloing where they want to work and how they want to get work done, the closer that you can bring those ends together in the middle, then you start seeing overlap and you start seeing people collaborate in ways that they never collaborated before. And bringing people together so that they can share those ideas and work together in a more seamless fashion without having to run 2, 3, 4, 5 different computers and publish packages this way and do them this way, right? There's still going to be some of that, right? There's no magic wand that just make it all the same. But this is another step in that journey to try to bring everybody one step closer together.
Well, and that bringing everything together, that's kind of the trend I've been seeing with all the announcements. Like, it seems to be all this fragmentation across the board with services that they're just finally coming back home. It's like, this is family, come together. And it's, especially with seeing, a second thing I'm kind of excited about
Here's
is
number 2.
The fluent design across the board. Because this is great for me because I was worried about UWP, what's going to happen with it.
Yep.
But now we see that there's that push to bring everything together, even with WinForms, WPF. It's like, bring UWP back in.
Yep.
But now we have the WinUI library. It's no longer going to be tied to this release of Windows 10. You can only do this, you can only do it on this.
Yep.
All that work is being done there.
Yep.
But then now we got web. It's like, okay.
Well.
And then you realize that for the React developers, for just the regular web developers, you're already using it if you've used Office 365. Those same
The fabric, right?
Yes, the
Yeah,
fabric,
yeah.
the
Yep.
fabric UI.
Yep.
Like, you're already using it. You've seen it before, but
Uh-huh.
now you can actually integrate it. And it's like those controls that native feel. And
Yep.
speaking of native,
But there's more.
Android and iOS.
I'm telling you. So while
My
you're talking
goodness.
about this, right? I actually created a short URL that I'm going to share out for everybody for the new page that was launched. So let me get over to the chat window so I can share this. There we go. And I'm going to pull it up actually over here in the browser so
Hi, Donna.
you can see it while we're talking about it.
I'm fantastic.
This one's killing it this week, by the way, as a dev MC. He's going to the sessions, asking the hard questions. Gave me a very detailed interview the other night.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So, so on the machine, I know you can't see this on camera right now. It's not set up in a demo mode, but I actually brought up the link that we just shared in the chat because, as Jeremy just mentioned, web, Windows, iOS, Android. So if you happen to be looking at the page, we're looking at that same page with you right now. But it's all, the super simple links where it has all four of them called out. The get started link, so you can just pop into any one of them and go start reading, and just like in essence, immediately just get going.
Yeah, and it's all open source, so you can contribute to it. You can download your own and play around with it. But all of the instructions for easily getting up and started, even on your existing apps, it's right in there.
Yeah.
And I do have to bring this up about that WinUI and Fluent.
Yep.
Windows Terminal.
So this is number 3.
Oh my goodness. What is this? This still ties back.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Because, I know a lot of people were kind of disappointed. It's like, where's the tabs on my Explorer? Where's that? And then now you see that in the Windows Terminal, where I can have the command line, PowerShell, and the Bash running at the same time with different tabs. But here's the best thing. I realized this yesterday. That is a control in the WinUI library. It's like, so we can use this right now. I'm like losing my mind. This is crazy.
So interestingly enough, right? You're talking about it being open source and having access to the library. For those of you that are interested in Terminal, I'm going to share another link in the chat. So give me just a moment to pop over there. Here we go. It's funny. We did not rehearse this, but I'm telling you, we could not be more on script as if we had tried to rehearse this, because he's literally hitting a series of talking points of things that I wanted to discuss. Like, I owe you like lunch or something for this, because you're making my job way easy right now.
If I could, I'd eat the hat. But
Put it on, man. Come on. I got another hat. That's all right.
there you go.
Now I got a Windows Insider beanie on. He's got the taco. You look
Taco
you look
MC.
very stately with this on. Oh my goodness. So as we wrap up with this conversation, like obviously we've covered a lot of topics, a lot of really good information. Everything that he's mentioned, all the sessions that he's attended. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I shared the link to all the build sessions. Some of them are already up. Others will be up once they're published and formatted and all that kind of stuff. So know that that's forthcoming. Any parting words? Any last bits of advice or interest? I know we talked a little bit about Azure, right? And I will plug the Azure link. I'll go dig that link back up again for the Azure training. In preparation for build, I didn't finish all of my training. I apologize, right? I've set deadlines for myself, and I will honor those. So just know that we'll be chatting some more once I actually finish through those sessions. But yeah, any other words you want to share of wisdom before you wrap?
Yes, for anyone who is currently developing or wants to get into developing, now's the time. It seems like Microsoft does care enough that they're reaching out and they're making it so anyone can hop on. It's not just Windows anymore. They're seeing like you got to get these services everywhere. There's so many different developers. It's not a big silo anymore. It's a family.
That's the real deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to say one more thing here. That as I was scrolling through Twitter this morning doing the prep for the build release that we did, I saw a tweet that it's one of those. It's a simple statement, but it was one of those that like hit me really hard. And it was a bit longer, but I'm going to make it a little more succinct. It was, I never thought I'd say this, but Microsoft is cool again. And it's interesting hearing people say that and it's fascinating, and it's exciting, it's impassioning. Like it makes me excited to do the things that I do. And obviously, I mean, from having you attended Build, it sounds like you're a bit excited about all of this too.
Absolutely, and especially Microsoft has this cool service called Dev Collective.
Oh,
And so-
yeah, Dev Collective.
Yeah, Dev Collective, and you'll see a lot of the information about my journey, and I have another Dev MC, Daniel. There's all kinds of us here. So if you go on Dev Collective, you can see each of our journeys from that perspective. So you can see from the web, the IoT, the native, you can see all of that. So if you go on Dev Collective, just follow around, you can live it.
Yep.
And get involved. Let's do it. I know I've been slacking on a lot of my development, but now I've just been hyped up. I'm going to be doing some stuff, so be on the lookout.
Got some more work to do.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Dev Collective, in case anybody in the chat hasn't seen it before, I just dropped a link, so you got something else you can go check out. Add that to the list of links that are showing up within chat today. Super good times. Jeremy, I gotta say, thank you for being here. Thank you for your boss and company for allowing you to come here and hang out with us. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and gotten a lot of good things out of it. Can't wait to see what else you do next, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Here, you can have
Oh no,
this back.
I get the taco hat back. Thanks again, man.
Thanks, man.
Oh, goodness. So, what is up next? Let me check my list of contents. Howdy. We talked about Fluent. We talked about Terminal. Jeremy has come on.
Are we ready for the devlings?
Yes, we are ready for the devlings. Bring them forward. So, interestingly enough, Donna nicknamed the group the devlings. Donna and company is bringing in a trail of folks here that are all going to talk to you today. Hi, Donna.
Hi.
How's it going?
Come here. Come here. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
She's
It's
just
gonna be
wrangling everybody up
fine.
real quick.
Say
How are you?
words.
This is super fun. How's it going?
Good on you.
Fantastic. Obviously, I'm Jason, but who are you?
So I am Homo. I'm a student dev and Microsoft student. And what I do is I host tutorials on campus, teaching students how to leverage the power of Microsoft technologies such as .NET and Azure. And I also write walkthrough guides, which also provide step-by-step instructions how to use these tools.
So, how did you get into development, and why is it important to you and the work that you're doing in your community?
Sure. So how I started coding was basically in high school. We had to choose our subjects, and I knew that I did not want to do anything that had to do with accounting. So the other choice was IT, right?
All right.
That's how I got into it. I started with Java, moved on to C#, and the thing is, development is such an important part of, especially where we are right now in this industry 4.0, right? This digital age. It's important for everyone to know how to use the tools that will run across all industries. So I feel that if everyone knows how to use them, they'll be better equipped to cope in this new era.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you mention you share your Azure credits with all of your fellow students?
No, I did not.
So his school doesn't get Azure credits, though they're required to do Azure homework. So he shares his credits because he's a Microsoft student partner. So
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
How kind are you?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about enabling your community to
Yeah.
do great things?
Yeah.
That is absolutely one way to get about it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
Thank
met
you very much.
Homo at Ignite Tour in Johannesburg, and we were just crazy about this one. We're like, you're going to build. And we didn't quite tell him all the things we're going to make him do. Like,
No, it didn't. No,
Why
it
does
did
that not surprise me, Donna?
No,
That
it
doesn't
did
surprise
not.
me at all.
we didn't tell him he was saying words in front of lots of people on Monday. We didn't tell him he's saying words to all of you, to lots of people today.
Uh-huh.
And we sure as heck didn't tell him we're going to drag him around and make him
Nope.
take pictures with everybody and their mother.
Not at all.
And tell your story maybe 850 times. Yeah.
That is funny. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So have you enjoyed Build?
I have enjoyed Build. I've learned a lot. I was focusing more around the Azure booths because some of the services that they have are really fun to work with, especially with students. Services like cognitive services, speech API, they're really fun to learn. And I feel like taking that back home to the students will be really beneficial for them.
So I'm going to give you, unlike Jeremy, who had one, but then two, but then we talked about four, just in the essence of time.
Right.
What is the one thing that you've learned here at Build that you want people to know about, that you want to share with them?
The one thing I learned here at Build. Okay. One thing I would say is, so I have met a few of my heroes here at Build, and it's so good. You sometimes see these people on TV or on webcasts and stuff, but then it's meeting them in person is really great, because you understand that they are indeed human.
Yeah.
Right. There is no super person except Donna. And just hearing them and speaking with them understanding that they're just human, it makes you feel part of something greater, because now it's not just they are Microsoft, right? They are not here to belittle us or to include us, and that's why programs like Windows in Cider is so great, because they put people in the center of development. And building software for people does not begin and end with 16 devs in one room.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
It's all about including 16 million people, and I feel that is great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I really hope that you've enjoyed your time here at Build. Obviously, you've got more sessions later this afternoon, a bit more to go see and do.
Right.
But,
Right.
we'll have to folloll up with you and, get kind of a synopsis after the fact.
Sure.
And we can share that out broadly.
Okay. Thanks
for being
very
on.
much.
Donna?
Also plug Insider Dev Tour, month of June.
Yes.
Insider Dev Tour all around the world.
Interestingly enough, they're already talking about it in chat. I didn't even bring it up. It's already happening.
And
Right.
guess who's going to be doing the Insider session in Johannesburg?
Not me.
Apparently, he's being voluntold.
Voluntold!
Right.
We're going to do it together.
Sure.
It's going to be awesome.
You ready to get up on stage?
Yeah.
He's going to be making
This was just a
slides
primer.
the night before.
This was the easy
sure.
primer.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
Yes.
Who's next? Come on up.
Yeah.
Real quick. Your name, where you're from, why you're at Build.
My name is Caleb Ndaka. I'm from Kenya.
Okay.
And I'm here to attend Build to talk about our project, Kids Comp Camp.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about it.
So Kids Comp Camp, from typing to coding, we help both children and the adults around them, their teachers, parents, their older brothers and sisters,
Yep.
so that they can be exposed and empowered to catch up with the current digital-driven society. We want to break the digital gap between the rural and the urban, between developing and developed economies.
That's awesome.
Yes.
How did you get started at this project?
It was a random idea. Just before
Those are usually the best.
before we graduated from campus, we were looking for something to hang around.
Okay.
So we decided to do a road trip with our laptops in our bags.
That's awesome.
And teach kids in a rural village how to use computers. So our first school, out of like 60 kids, only 3 had seen a computer before. So we're like, this needs to be reversed.
Wait. I want to capture this moment real quick, because this is It's one of those things where when you live in a region that's full of technology, hearing things like this is a bit shocking.
Yeah.
You said 3 out of 60
3 out of 60
had seen a computer.
Not using?
Just seen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
for us,
that's a really strong point to drive home here.
So we need to do more, because many a time, like you're saying, when you've grown up in areas where you have devices and connection, you feel like that should be like a primary need for everyone.
Yeah.
But there are thousands of millions, especially kids who are there who've never seen a computer. So they need to enjoy these goodies of technology, and it begins by exposure.
We talk a lot about having like an always-on connection or even access to the internet, but there's still steps further to go beyond that, where there are folks who haven't even seen the technology that's going to enable them to do anything broadly in the digital age.
Sure. So a few challenges that leads to that is infrastructure, lack of devices, lack of connection, especially in Africa. That's something that you still need to work on.
Okay.
The second one is content. You can have the device, but if the content is not relevant to the child, if the content is not exciting and interactive enough to the child, then the kid will not have the excitement to learn. So those are some of the barriers that we want to break, and we do that by running mobile computer camps, targeting kids in rural Kenya during their holidays and during weekends. And we make learning very fun. So our camps are all about food, fun, and computers, so that the kids can start growing up.
So rather than just sending them to a website or showing them a computer that's just got walls of text on it that
Yeah.
glaze over and their attention span fades away,
Yes.
you bring them into an exciting environment, you make it interactive, pique their interest.
Teach them in their language. Because linguistics and logic sometimes can be worlds apart.
Sure.
We don't want linguistics to be an interest to that. So we
Yeah.
go down to where they live, teach them in their language, make it exciting for them.
So, I'm a very noble cause. Like I'm struggling to put it into words because it's both fascinating and it's empowering for the people that you're reaching out to bring these skills and this education to them.
Yes.
So, with your experience here at Build,
Yes.
right? So, as we talked to Gomo a moment ago,
Yes.
like, what is something super exciting that you've learned here that you want to bring back and start including in some of what you're sharing?
I was super excited about just the options that we have to provide devices and to provide connections
Okay.
beyond Wi-Fi, or you have a device that has both cellular and Wi-Fi options.
Sure.
So that means you can move around pretty easy. You can have kids have very light devices which they can learn. So that means the challenge of infrastructure, we are bringing it down by the day, and I'm pretty excited to see there are many more options that we can start exploring.
Rather than forcing somebody to be in one particular spot where they know what Wi-Fi is,
Yeah.
right? As long as they're in a place that has at least a broader ability to connect through,
Yes.
GSM, cellular, so on and so forth,
Yeah.
they can at least stay connected and keep pulling down more materials,
Yeah.
digesting more of that, and working along the way.
Yeah, keep learning, keep adjusting the content to their environments. That's really empowerment when you can empower somebody to empower themselves.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Any parting words you want to share with those who are out there listening? Like anything that you can say to inspire them, to kind of help them take part and be more interactive within their communities?
Yeah, I mean, I will say that we can step out and help out
Yeah.
because we can. With what we have, we just need to look around ourselves. How can we help out the child who is around us or who is away from us? There's something every one of us can do, from teaching how to right click to left click, teaching them how technology is changing the world.
Yep.
There's something that each and every one of us should contribute to this conversation so that no child is left behind.
That is awesome.
Whether they are born in China, in Africa, or even here in Seattle, they need to be given equal fighting opportunities. And that is what we're fighting for. A chance for every child.
I'm glad to see your passion on this topic. It is absolutely justified,
Yeah.
and I'm glad people like yourself are actually taking the momentum to go out and share this information and try to bring everybody along on this adventure.
Yes, everyone needs a chance. Yes.
Awesome.
Cool
Thank you
stuff.
so much. I have absolutely enjoyed chatting with you.
Yeah.
We will also do a follow-up with you, bring some more information back to the listeners.
Cool
Thanks
stuff.
for being on.
Asante sana. That is thank you in Swahili.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Next up.
Hi.
So, the same routine yet again, right? So, your name, where you're from, what are you working on, and what did you think about Build?
And what you got voluntold for?
Uh-oh, another voluntold story. Here we go.
Hi guys, my name is William Tashadi. I'm from South Africa, Johannesburg. And what I think about Build so far is how life-changing it is, because what I'm trying to do is literally learn as much as I can so I can bring back an industry standard back into South African and help South Africans' lives become better. And I've been voluntold that
Here it is.
yeah, so that I'll be a part of the Insider Dev tour in South Africa. And
Now it's going to be you.
Yes. Yeah, so I think definitely what I've learned a lot when it comes to the blockchain industry and how it's going to help decentralize what's happening in South Africa and how to make things better. And also what ARM is doing, especially in the rural communities where it's very difficult to get Wi-Fi and signal,
Sure. Yep.
but also help them get to a certain industry level as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm busy doing is actually helping kids out of code, but I've revolutionized that in the sense that I've created a platform where it's kids helping each other to learn how to code, because there's so many content out there, like so much content out there to learn from, and just curating that and helping them through that process, because I'm actually from a non-profit organization called Methane Code. It's a curriculum taken from France, implemented in South Africa, so it's absolutely free. And what happens is you need to meet a certain aptitude to get into the course.
Okay.
But now you are part of the bootcamp and you learn how to code from there. And then after that, you get the opportunity to work at one of the corporates that sponsor us.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that is fantastic.
yeah. And what happens from there is after learning, what we focus on is social tech. So a social tech project is how can we impact the society. So what I decided to go for is to help kids learn how to code because it's become so essential. Using things like Office 360, for example, is a must.
Sure.
But now it should be more than that. To build your own sites, to create your own content is fundamental. But now where do you go for learning, whether it's open source, whether it's paid for, where do you go, where do you start? And just curating that content and guiding people and telling them, hey, there's other people that are also struggling like you.
Sure.
And we can actually learn and pull each other up and learn together.
And I have to say, you've made a very interesting and highly relevant point here that while there's tons of information available to people that are trying to learn, whether it's learn the basics of technology, learn more advanced technology, starting the process of learning to code, or digging into something deeper like doing, cloud services, digging into Azure, anything like that, right? There is so much information available.
Yes.
It can be a struggle to know where to start.
Yes.
Right? The whole information overload thing is absolutely real.
Absolutely.
So, with some of the efforts you're putting forth to kind of collapse some of this, put it together in a more organized fashion.
It just makes life so much easier because there's so many wonderful things and content that you know that I don't know. But now you can actually contribute to the platform to say, hey guys, how about you check out this YouTube video? It really helped me when I was struggling with this. And it can help so many other people because we don't necessarily think in the same way. You see, when we're trying to problem solve things. And that's what makes it fun, is that it's community based. We're helping each other learn and grow.
Okay.
Yeah. But now we're looking at it at a small scale. For example, with the teaching kids how to code part, we're looking, let's say, big data, for example, but how they visualize big data from patterns to recognizing certain aspects in the data itself. So now we've created stickers where you can actually visualize the patterns and what is happening there, in a sense, you find out that this person likes to use a pencil or they have 3 pets, but the visualization of that massive amount of data for kids can be made fun. And now you're introducing another layer where they can actually get into that. And it's not just front-end dev or back-end is not fun, but you get people that are passionate and that are willing to become mentors and help coach these kids and guide them as well into the right paths.
That is awesome. So, I will say this, knowing what you've learned at Build, right? You've spent the past couple of days attending sessions, having conversations with various Microsoft employees and, third-party vendors and partners. What is something that you've been inspired by that you're really excited to have learned while you've been here at Build?
I think the willingness for other people to help others, and it's just sort of solidified why I want to do what I do, why I want to give back.
Like you made a good decision, really.
Yes.
There's always somebody there that's willing to lend a hand and help out.
And even with me and what I'm trying to build and create, how they're helpful and how they're also guiding me. And even making what I'm doing better than what it was.
Yeah.
And making me realize what blind spots I have and how to become better. So I think the community itself, what Insider Dev does, it just solidifies to say, hey, you're actually on the right track. You can actually do more and give back.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you've enjoyed your time here.
Definitely.
Again, we'll definitely do some follow-ups. And obviously, you've got some voluntold work to go prep for.
Voluntold! Yeah, no, definitely.
But thank you for the chat.
Thank you for having me.
We'll no doubt be in touch.
Okay, bye.
Sir? We got one more Devling that we're gonna have a little chat with here. Some of you might recognize this gentleman if you haven't recognized the others who've been on. So real quick, could you?
I have to confess something. We brought Michael here and actually did not tell him anything at all. We didn't tell him he was speaking. We didn't tell him he was going to be on this. We told him nothing. We said we need you to see what Build on Sunday. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
And Michael, being Michael's, like, okay.
And he shows up.
And he shows up, and suddenly he's got a very exciting week of
Yeah,
activities.
it's been very good.
So, well, now we know your first name. So,
Michael.
Michael, so can you tell us, obviously, the rest of your name, where you're from, what you do, and why you're here at Build?
Yeah, so Michael Gillett. I'm from London, UK. Yeah.
Thanks, Brandon.
For those who couldn't hear, Brandon just, in a very high-pitched voice, said wallpapers. So yeah, I do loads of things that you probably are aware of. I make Wallpaper Hub, create wallpapers with Ninja Cat on them, because that is the official mascot of Windows Insiders. I do build bingo.
Oh yes,
which
build bingo. Yes,
is always fun.
You want to talk about how it's now a legit thing?
I'll take.
Yeah, so
How did build bingo become legitimized? Because it was fun.
It's always
but
been
now
fun,
it's,
right?
But now it's a thing, apparently.
So in the press briefing that is given by Microsoft to the journalists and bloggers, Frank Shaw, head of communications, he uses that as his reference material for what is being announced at Build, which is cool.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, there are lots of things there. I also organise meetups in the UK, which anyone in the UK may well be aware of. Probably a few of them have been to it as well. I'm aware that people are watching the stream who have been to the meetup. So, hi guys.
Hey, that's awesome. So, having spent the past few days here at Build, seen some of the sessions, seen the booths, met people, met folks. What are some of the things that have caught your attention? Like, what's something that you're super excited about that you've learned in the past few days?
So, I would say that there's the main one is the other devlings who are here. Like that's their stories have been really inspiring, blown me away in terms of the community stuff that they're doing, and it's just brilliant stuff. The way that they're able to actually go out there and change lives, like the stuff I do in the community is a lot of fun.
Yep.
But it's not really changing lives, but the stuff they're doing is changing lives. So for me, that's a takeaway from a kind of a Microsoft bit of Build.
Sure.
There's been some really interesting stuff that perhaps there's no mega headline announcement this year.
Okay.
But there's lots and lots of pretty but there's lots of important, lots of significant things.
Thanks, Brandon.
Brandon said wallpapers.
Brandon is
again.
literally over here singing wallpapers. It's hilarious.
I would say, yeah, Terminal is the biggest, most interesting, developer-focused new thing. Everything else, I think, is lots of evolution. And then Windows subsystem for Linux too.
Okay.
That's pretty mega.
That is a bit of a change.
Yeah. So I think those two things are really interesting. It's showing that Microsoft's listening to what developers are feeding back, as they have been doing for a number of years now. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. It still is for some people.
Yeah.
There's Linux coming in Windows 10. But the focus there is about, as the Windows Insider program's always been, listen to what people are saying, address that stuff, and you'll get a lot of support, a lot of love for that. And it seems to be that ethos is now much more apparent across all of Microsoft.
And it does change the dynamic a little bit when you're able to kind of connect in person, put some of those names and faces together, get to shake somebody's hand, spend some time talking to them, and as was mentioned previously by several folks, it's like when you actually get to make some of those connections, it humanizes it a little bit more rather than it being just a username or kind of a semi-faced persona that's kind of just on the internet, right? It helps bring people closer together.
Exactly.
And then you do that in person after meeting online, or you do that, as Caleb talked about, in the communities, right?
Yeah.
Bringing people together and sharing that information. And there's nothing but goodness to come from that.
It's so valuable. Yeah. So I've enjoyed talking to the Edge team as well, meeting them. Fluid Fabric team, the 3 Fs. So there's been some really good conversations around that. I spoke to Rich Turner on the Terminal team as well and found out a bit more about that. There's good stuff there. The fact that the whole Terminal components of Windows is now open sourced, and that the Terminal app is within that same repository, and that someone out there might want to make a change to Terminal, they are actually going to, at some point in 6 months later, whenever the next version of Windows ships, they're actually going to have their pull requests and their changes in the command line code of Windows, which is
that not crazy?
Yeah, it's mega.
Right?
Yeah.
And just real quick, and I don't know if you saw it earlier, and I will absolutely share these on the Insider Twitter handle, and I'll actually probably post all these links that I've been sharing on the forum as well. I did share the link to the GitHub repo for Terminal, so if you have that, this is kind of what we're referencing here.
Yeah.
You have the ability to go out and contribute to that project if that's something you're interested in doing.
It's just very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I know we've got, a few more hours here at Build. I think we wrap up in 3.5 hours. I know you've got more folks and more session to talk to, but I hope you've had a good time.
It's been
I hope
brilliant.
it's been a great experience.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting kind of voluntold to come be on the webcast.
Oh,
here goes the taco hat. Here we go.
Here we go.
He's going to tell everyone about Insider Up. What is Insider Up?
Uh-oh. Got another plug.
The pitch I gave at the Insider. Hang on.
Uh-oh.
We're rearranging.
We're
the
bringing
stand.
out props now. Like it's getting serious.
This
Hold
is-
on. And here it is.
Hashtag Insider Up. There it is. Boom. Do the ninja. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
So the pitch I gave at the Insider Hub event was the stuff that I do within the communities are things that I enjoy doing and can do. So that's making wallpapers, it's using my dev skills, making Wallpaper Hub, it's organizing meetups, it's creating a project in GitHub, which is setting up configs and stuff. It's writing blog posts. There's a load of stuff there that anyone could do that. And it's not things that I'm being told to do or feel I need to do. They're just things that I enjoy doing and can do. That's why I do them. So I think anyone out there could be doing these things. And people definitely should be doing whatever they enjoy doing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic, sir.
And that's kind of the ethos of Insider Up. Go out there, make upskilling, work within your communities. You can find new communities, define new ones yourself, and just get people involved. Change lives.
Amazing. Well, thank you for being on.
Thank you
for the chat.
Thank you.
You are
We are
welcome.
at the bottom of the hour. We've actually gone over just a smidge. So
Awesome.
we're
I have questions.
apparently, I got to say this. Apparently, like there's
something going on with the
interesting-
video quality. That's crazy. Oh,
yeah. So
are we?
yeah. So like, if anybody's having problems with the video quality,
Yeah.
make sure and turn off low latency because I just flipped back to the browser because I've been on on our share screen doing the navigation and such. But it seems like the video is a little
Jumpy and
a little
weird.
jumpy, and it's the joy of conference internet. Like
Conference internet. We took down conference internet earlier with the flight.
yeah.
Very good. And now we've taken it down with our webcast. Excellent.
Oops. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh my gosh, Brandon. What a
Brandon is
goofball.
here. He's bringing the sign closer.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
getting closer. Okay, so.
So what do you got, Donna?
Jason's asked lots of questions to lots of people.
I have done a whole lot of talking.
A lot of talking. So what was your biggest conference takeaway?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
I'm trying to because I don't want to necessarily repeat everything everybody else has said.
Something original and new.
It's tough. Now I'm sitting here filtering through everything that I've learned over the past few days.
It involves quantum.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going to the Quantum booth, right? Mm-hmm. So, real quick plug, right? Last summer we did a podcast episode on Quantum.
Talk to the nice people.
Just last week, I'm talking to the mic. It's habit. And just last week we did some more recording with another guest. There may, wink wink, be some more content on Quantum coming to a podcast near you next month. So I actually do need to go stop by the Quantum booth because there's some new information that they're sharing, and I need to get some tidbits and details. Obviously, I still am on the road learning from this. I've been poking around with it. I've got the QDK downloaded. Right, Donna's yelled at me enough about learning to code and poking around with Quantum, so it doesn't work well if you don't listen to what your boss tells you. So I'm trying. But yeah, I mean, on top of that, which obviously is just a personal interest for me.
Obviously, just a personal interest.
Just a personal interest.
Never mind, our company does this, and we probably are going to have Quantum insiders at some point. So
that
maybe
would be kind of fascinating.
But why would you not learn about this thing that our company is going to do?
Yeah.
That will affect all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't want a future-proof? You don't like the future?
Well, that's why I'm doing it. See?
Yes.
It's like life and career coaching.
Yeah,
live on
these are
Webcast.
one-on-ones. We didn't have them this week, so I'm just having one with Jason yelling at him now.
But thankfully, she doesn't have the cake knife to.
Step.
Yeah.
Yet.
What was your favorite thing about Build?
It was having people from all over the world here. I love that.
Yeah.
Right? It's amazing. I love to get on planes because we get to meet people who we don't get to see every day, and they work very differently than us. They're very different problems they're trying to solve with tech. And the fact that they're willing to give up an entire week of their lives. You heard them. They're very busy people.
Yeah.
They gave up a week of their lives, taking away from their community to come and be with us, just so they can learn and take it all back. Right. So today at 4, we're going to be having a roundtable and talking about how can we scale them? How can we help any insider in the world use their tech knowledge and scale it to their local communities, especially to people who can't afford it, who think it's too late for them. So that's one of our missions of the program, Insider Up. You'll see an article come out about it pretty soon once it clears legal,
Okay.
And then it'll come out, and we would love for insiders to, jump on board. Vivek and Ali aren't here because they're hiding somewhere, but we announced an insider PWA.
Yes, we did.
So we've been talking about PWAs for a while, but we didn't see a lot of insiders making PWAs, so we decided to make one.
Correct.
We took the insider website and made it into a PWA that'll work offline on your Android phone right now and iOS phone in June. And we're going to keep it up to date with the latest and greatest stuff. Right now you're going to see build release stuff, Flight Hub, all of the articles, all of the news from build, etc. But we want it to be a place where insiders can see the latest and greatest of what's going on our team right there from Flight Hub.
And you can do it on the go, no problem.
You can do it on the go, no problem. So we pre-released that. We really want to encourage insiders to make their own PWA. We have another voluntold situation.
The list keeps growing.
Come here. Come here. You're next, so get ready. Okay. Brandon, say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Jason.
Brandon is going to write a PWA for Marvel stuff to show the power of the PWA platform.
That just happened.
He's going to do it.
No, but I knew that was happening, and so I actually did some of that last night.
Because he knew he was going to get voluntold for that at this conference. Okay, next, voluntold. Out. Come here.
Come on, camera.
Come here.
Go off camera. Just like that.
Okay,
On camera, off camera.
Say things.
Hey, Eddie.
This is Eddie.
Hey, how's it going? Eddie Leonard. I don't know if you guys remember me. I was at Ignite. It was my first conference as an insider. A lot of fun. So
No, it's not your first conference as an insider. You have to tell the story.
Come on.
which story? I go all the way
Okay,
back.
so no. So Eddie was an IT pro at First Citizens Bank. We dragged him to Ignite, surprised him by letting him know he's going to be saying words on stage.
Lots of words.
Lots of words on stage.
You notice a pattern developing with Donna. She just invites people. It's like, oh, by the way,
Words.
now you got something to do.
Activities.
Yes.
So after he was done saying words for a week and we drove him crazy, he decided that he's going to quit his job of 20 years and come and join our team.
Yep.
So he did. And he's been on our team for how many?
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
So this is his first trip up to Seattle, and he is working on 2 extremely important projects that he is the expert of.
Yes. So I'm an IT pro, like Donna said, over 20 years. So now I'm looking to upskill. Hashtag Insider Up. Go do it. Do the thing. And so the goal is to help IT pros learn how to code. I mean, because why not? I mean, really,
They already have computers. They already have tech skills.
They have computers. They have tech skills.
I think
and
IT pros are already coders.
They are. That's true.
But to acknowledge that.
PowerShell. You've written a PowerShell script.
Yes,
you've
you
written
have.
a VB script. You are a coder. You're a developer.
Sorry.
So now let's just take it to the next level. IT pro jobs are changing, right? Azure, cloud, all these things are changing infrastructure side. So there's less, hey, I got to build a server or a desktop. Now what we're doing is, now we're just getting things automated in the cloud, so we have more time to do other stuff. So let's do stuff, right? Let's build apps, Power Apps, use Power BI, Flow, those kind of things. So that's part of the IT Pros Can Code initiative to help those IT pros learn how to code.
The other one.
The other one.
Yep, number 2.
Number 2. So I'm not just doing one thing, I'm
Nope.
doing 2 things
Two
because
things.
one's not enough, right?
Nope.
Never is.
Never is. So,
We don't like comfort zones around here. They make us
No.
very anxious.
no, yeah. Comfort zone here, this is where the magic happens.
Oh, yeah.
Guess
Correct.
where I'm at?
Out
In
here.
the magic happens
I'm
part.
out there where the magic happens. Way outside of my comfort zone. So the other part that a lot of people don't know about me is I am a veteran. I spent 5 years in the U.S. Navy. Hoorah. Loved it, enjoyed it. Transitioning out into the civilian world, I was lucky enough to have a job inside the Navy that was IT related.
Okay.
So it was very easy for me to transition out and get an IT job, a good paying IT job. A lot of folks don't have that same skill inside the military. So one of the things that we want to do with our Vets Can Code, hashtag Vets Can Code, is to help those veterans transition into civilian jobs, good paying civilian jobs. So we want to, again, upskill them to give them coding skills that will help them get the good jobs when they come out.
Exactly. So Eddie's leading those 2 projects with us, and we are extremely excited
Super excited.
because he is an expert and he knows everything.
Absolutely.
Almost everything. If I knew everything, I wouldn't have to be able to learn anything else. And where's the fun?
There's no fun.
That is
Constant
true.
learning, constant learning.
Okay, that's all the voluntolding I was going to do on camera today.
I think everybody would probably agree that it's enough.
We're all busy.
Yeah. Next year at Build, Jason's going to be doing a coding demo of QDK on the stage. So it's going to be very exciting.
Jason's like, I just found this out.
It's going to be amazing. Intro to Quantum Computing by Jason Howard.
no,
I'm just going to sign him up now.
No,
There's
no,
a sign up form.
no. No, if any of you agree to this, that
everyone
I should be doing,
agree.
No,
Does everyone agree?
No.
You better all
He's
agree.
doing it.
Who doesn't want to see that? I want to see it. Everyone wants to see it.
No.
Now you've been voluntold.
Everything will be fine.
Oh my gosh! So I've got a year. Let the countdown begin.
Build your words. Say the words.
Say
do
the
the
words.
thing.
Say the words. Do the thing.
Thanks, Donna. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yes, absolutely. I hope you have enjoyed this adventure, this build adventure we've been on for today's webcast. Between the demos, the talks about the different sessions, things that got announced. It's been a lot of really good information. Hold on. There's a call for the taco
Put on the
hat.
taco hat. Put on the taco hat.
We have to have a quick shout out. We have to say hi to Paul.
Hi, Paul.
We have to
How
say
are
hi
you?
to
We
Paul.
miss you. We wish you were here. We've talked about you all day.
Oh yeah.
For 4 days. I talked about you at the EBC Exec Briefing Center keynote today too. Everyone knows who you are.
That's fantastic.
Next year we need a cardboard cutout of Paul. Did I take it right?
No, because next year
Yeah,
Paul's
Paul
going to
will
be
be here. That makes sense. Paul, start coding.
Paul,
you gotta show
start
up.
coding.
Yeah.
Everybody, she's gonna tell everybody to just start coding.
Start coding.
Am I wrong?
No, probably not. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up here. Let me share one more time. Oh my gosh, Jeremiah.
Chomp, chomp.
Oh my goodness. And out of left field, here we go. I'm going to paste the build session content link one more time as we wrap up here. Let me get it formatted
Then
real
I start
quick.
screaming.
There you go.
Jeremiah's here too.
So again, since we are at Build, there have been a ton of sessions presented by a myriad of teams. If you want to check out any of that content, the link that I just shared will take you there. Many of them are recorded, so they should have video. If not, you should be able to see transcripts or the PowerPoints at least. So again, it'll finish populating over the next day or two. You have access to those materials. Take the time, review the things that you find interesting, and hopefully find them beneficial in whatever activities you engaged. So until next month, I love working on this team. They make it so much fun. Until next month,
we don't know this man.
We will announce the next webcast, topic, date, times, all that kind of fun stuff. But until then, stay awesome, stay insidering, and look forward to the next round of builds because you know they're coming.
Insider up.
Cheers,
Insider
everybody.
up. Bye.
Bye, y'all.